Hello everyone, this is the Disney Dude here, walking around Epcot today. I wanted to come here. I'm obviously, I know I said on my news show that I'd be, that Frozen would be opening today. It's not opening today, it's opening on Thursday. So, but I was coming here anyway, I just decided to get all of my rides done here today, and then that way when I come on Thursday, I can film Frozen, and then that's all I have to do. And then I don't know. Maybe I'll go somewhere else. Maybe I'll go to Hollywood Studios for a little bit. I don't know, but I did just want to do this video because a lot of people have been getting excited about Josh tomorrow being our new CEO, and it's, you know, myself included in that. And I truly think that now that we have a parks person as CEO, I truly think that the parks are going to be changing in a different direction, and it's going to be for the better. I truly think it's going to be for the better. I was just riding a couple rides here at Epcot, and things that have been broken for a long time are fixed, and everything is just, you know, the rides are running very, very smoothly, and it just shows that that this is a turning point for the Walt Disney Company. This is a turning point for this company that we all love and cherish so much. Now look, I know a lot of people didn't like, Bob Iger. I understand. I get that. Now obviously he is a much better CEO than, Bob Chapek ever was. Obviously that was a huge mistake. And then when Bob Iger came back, there was a lot of fixing to do. Now, morale at the parks, I don't know if, I would say that morale in the parks they changed. It was a lot more, it was a lot more, upbeat and cheerful, and so, morale here at the parks were, a lot better than under Bob Chapek. But I truly think now that, Josh tomorrow, now that he's the CEO, and it's all, it's what we wanted. It's, we wanted Josh to be the CEO. We wanted him to lead this company, and that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. He's going to, lead this great company, and I am very optimistic for the future. I am very optimistic. I think I'm more optimistic now than I was when Bob Iger came back. I mean, I was optimistic, but I think now that Josh is the new CEO, I think I'm a lot more optimistic now, and I can definitely feel just today. I can feel things changing in the parks, and it's for the better. It is for the better. Cast members are so happy. I've never, the guests are also so happy. It has been a long time since I have seen so many people so happy at Walt Disney World. So I truly think that, you know, things are definitely going to get better for the parks. Are they going to be are they going to be what they were, you know, pre-COVID and pre-Bob Chapek? No. Okay, they're not. Okay, you're never, people, whenever, when the when the new CEO was announced, they were like, they need to bring back free fast passes, they need to bring back this, they need to bring back that. Okay, you are never getting your free fast passes back. Okay, that's not happening. Okay, so people need to get that out of their minds. The free fast pass thing that's never happening. Okay, that is long gone. That's not coming back. I would love that too, but it's Disney. They were the last. Walt Disney World and Disneyland, really, for that matter, was one of the last theme parks to offer free fast passes. Okay, everywhere else, they started charging for them. Universal was at the front of that. I'm probably pretty sure that SeaWorld is like that. I haven't been to SeaWorld in forever, so I can't really speak on SeaWorld, but going to Universal, because I have a annual pass for Universal as well. So Universal was, to my knowledge, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but to my knowledge, Universal was the first theme parks to have paid fast passes. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know, but I believe that they were the first to have paid fast passes. I mean, I say fast passes, but theirs was Express Pass. But and Disney really was holding out. Now, it took a global pandemic to, have them change over to a paid fast pass service. Now, would that have happened before COVID? Probably. There were already talks about them, introducing a paid fast pass system. So they were going to do that anyway. Now with COVID hitting, that kind of stopped everything. But then when the parks did come back, when they reopened after COVID, we noticed that Disney was not doing their fast pass distribution. And this was something totally different than Universal, because Universal, when they reopened, they were doing their fast pass service. So when Walt Disney World reopened, and Disneyland for that matter, we noticed that fast passes were not around, and we were like, why is that? Why is fast pass not around? And and then, because this was 2020, so 2020 happened, and then 2021, and then when did I don't even know when Lightning Lane even was. It 22, I think 2022, I think maybe it was 21, but I think it was 22 when they started doing the paid Lightning Lane option. So that's why that's why the fast passes weren't around when Walt Disney World reopened, because they were revamping this whole system. And it's and then of course Genie Plus came out, and that system was terrible. And then as everything does, they had to refine it, and we got back our then they started going back to the way it kind of was in the past, where you make your 3 selections, and then after you use your first one, you can choose another one. Now with this Lightning Lane service, things sell out a lot, a whole lot more. I don't really remember with Fast Pass, with free Fast Pass, I don't ever remember them selling out of rides. I don't really remember them, but then again, it was free, and then you could do it as many times as you wanted. There wasn't, they didn't restrict you to one time only. It was, you could get your Fast Pass for Pirates of the Caribbean, ride Pirates, and then get another one for Pirates. So it was, so I think that the system was kind of abused in that way. But anyway, so they had to kind of do something different with Fast Passes. But anyway, I'm going way off topic here. But anyway, I am so happy. I cannot tell you how thrilled I am with Josh D'Amaro as the new CEO. I think now there's been, questionable things, a lot of questionable things that have happened, like getting rid of Muppet Vision and getting rid of, the Rivers of America, which I don't know anyway, but, getting rid of Muppet Vision, getting rid of the Rivers of America, there's been some questionable decisions that, like, I don't know if I would have done that. Now getting rid of Tom Sawyer Island and the Riverboat is totally different than getting rid of Muppet Vision 3D. So I wouldn't have gotten rid of Muppet Vision 3D anyway. That decision was kind of odd to me. But it is what it is at this point. But there have been some questionable decisions, but I truly think now that we have a new CEO, that we have that it's who we wanted, we all wanted Josh D'Amaro to be the new CEO, and that's exactly what happened. I truly think now that there's going to be a brighter future for this company. I truly think that things are going to get a whole lot better. Now, that doesn't mean that there's not going to be, hiccups and more questionable decisions, but I really think that having Josh D'Amaro as the new CEO for the Walt Disney Company, I really think that this is going to be a turning point for the theme parks, and it's going to be a good turning point for the theme parks. I think the theme parks are going to be, in a whole lot better place than what they have been. Now obviously it started declining when Bob Chapek was in Parks and Resorts, and then he got promoted to CEO, and then of course everything just went downhill after that. And then Bob Iger came back, and kind of depending on your point of view, he fixed some things, maybe he didn't fix some things. I don't think that things have gotten worse. I think that they kind of improved under Bob Iger a little bit. Now, again, there was a lot of questionable decisions, stuff that I wouldn't have done. But I truly think that if Bob Chapek had not been fired by the Walt Disney Company, and if he was still our CEO, we would have lost a lot more. We would have lost a lot more. So, I think, live entertainment would have gone away. I don't think that we would have had, Beauty and the Beast, I think that would have gone away. Indiana Jones, Epic Stunt Spectacular, that would have gone away, which was supposed to go away under him, but thankfully that didn't happen. But Frozen would have gone away. So many of the live entertainment in the parks would have gone away because Bob Chapek was a numbers guy, and he was like, we have so much live entertainment that's costing us money, so we just need to get rid of all those people, and that's going to save us money, which obviously was the wrong decision, because just theme park rides does not a theme park make. Okay, you can't just have rides in a theme park. You have to have live entertainment and the guest interactions to make a theme park. Okay, so it's and this is what separates Disney from Universal. This is what separates Disney from Universal is the cast member interactions. The cast member interact. Now, I'm not saying that the team members at Universal are bad or terrible. I've had a couple of good interactions with them, but it's the Disney difference. It is the Disney difference. It is the cast members that make the magic. And I truly think now that Josh D'Amaro is the CEO, I think that a lot of cast members are going to be a lot more happy. They're going to be a lot more happy. They're going to be a lot more upbeat. Guests are going to be guests, okay? There's always going to be entitled, mean entitled, people that come to these theme parks and, demand that they be treated like royalty and going to treat everybody else like garbage, okay? There's no way around it, okay? We live in 2026, okay? We live in 2026. So, no matter what, we're going to have guests that behave badly, but but you have to have, if your employees are happy, or in Disney's case, your cast members happy, then you're going to have happy guests, okay? You don't want to come to a place where the workers are just they act like they don't want to be there, and they just don't care. And if you're gonna act that way, then this is not the place for you, okay? Look, I've been in the customer service industry. I've been in the grocery store industry ever since 2007. Next year will be my 20-year anniversary of being in the customer service industry. I cannot tell you how many people, compliment me, and they ask for me, and they say that, I treat them with kindness and respect and dignity, and it's because of these theme parks. It is because of Disney. I, like everybody else, grew up coming to these theme parks as a kid. And when I came to these theme parks as a kid, all the cast members were, excited to be here, excited to make magic for guests. So I really learned from the best. I learned from the best. I learned from the customer service. I learned from the cast members, and then of course I learned from Walt Disney. Walt Disney was, he's my hero, and he has always said that you can dream and imagine and build the most wonderful place in the world. I'm paraphrasing here, but it requires people to make the dream a reality. And I really try to live by that quote. I really try to make my job. I try to have fun doing my job. Now, obviously, working at a theme park is not, it's not as, it's not as stressful, like working in a theme park. But the cast members that, take the stressful situation and kind of just, de-escalate it and treat it with, a different point of view. That's obviously, that's what I try to live by. That's the Disney difference, in my opinion. The Disney difference is the outstanding customer service, the outstanding, cleanliness of the place, and that's what I really try to live by. I try to live by, doing my job. I try to make my customer interactions special. I try to keep my store clean. It's, I learn from the best. I really learn from the best. And I truly think now that this company is going in the right direction. It is going in the right direction. And I think that we are going to be in for one wild ride. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait what's going to happen now with these theme parks. I am so excited. It just fills my heart with joy, and everybody else feels the same. Everybody else feels the same. That this is the direction that we want to go. We want to go, and I really feel that, with Josh D'Amaro leading the company, that we can follow him. We can follow him, and he's not going to lead us down a bad path. So I am so optimistic for the future. But let me know how you feel. But everybody that I have talked to is so happy with this decision. They are so happy with the decision to make Josh D'Amaro the new CEO of the Walt Disney Company. So Sorry, I stopped talking because, you know, they're doing the Eat to the Beat concert, so I didn't want to shout through that. But you know, again, I'm just to kind of wrap this up here. I am so excited. In a very long time, I am very optimistic about where this company is going, and I think that Josh tomorrow is going to lead us down a really great, really wonderful path. So, but let me know in the comments. But I have yet to meet somebody that is not excited that Josh tomorrow is going to be the new CEO for the Walt Disney Company. So, but I'm probably going to end the show now. I'm going to end this video. I'm going to meet my girlfriend for dinner. So I just wanted to do this just for a little bit before we meet. And then I just wanted to share my thoughts and feelings on the future of the Walt Disney Company. You know, and obviously there's only so much time I can talk on my news channel. You know, it's different when I'm walking around the theme park and I can give you my undivided attention and do just one thing and not, you know, a series of several stories. So, but that's you know, that's the way I feel. I'm optimistic for this company's future, and I just cannot wait. I cannot wait what's on the horizon now for the Walt Disney Company and its theme parks. So, but let me know how you feel. But I just cannot wait. I cannot wait for all of the great ideas and all of the expansion plans and everything, with the exception of getting rid of Muppet Vision 3D. But I am so happy. I am so ecstatic. So, but let me know how you feel. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to this channel for more content. I thank you guys very much for watching this video. You guys have a great rest of your day. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my evening here at EPCOT, and look for my Frozen video that's gonna come out on Thursday when I come back and film Frozen. But that will be on my ride, on my Disney Ride channel. Okay, so thank you guys very much for watching. Y'all please keep each other safe and healthy, and we will see you real soon.